Well, hello, welcome to the ITL. This week, well, actually, let's say start off today. Today is outside. It's actually rainy, but cool. Not cold, cool. I mean, it's probably up in the upper 30s, maybe 40 degrees. Just cool. Actually, I think it's a little cooler than that, so I can search my breath in here. Not by much. But it's just one of those days that you really it makes you tired, just tired, you know. But let's move on. I noticed, what was it, towards the beginning of this week, last week, BC, and there's BC, a bunch of numbers, and if I remember, I'll put his link to his channel down in the description. If I remember, if I don't, I'm sorry. But yeah, he's actually getting into the wireless microphone setup for his camera, and he's actually started out with a pretty decent one. I've been through a few of them, and he started out with the Pyle, which is right here. I got the transmitter here. Hold on. Okay, right here. The wireless Pyle wireless microphone setup. This is the PDWM96, and actually, I gave him some bad information on his last video, but I mean, I'll try this. If he looks at the just watch my ITL, this will get through to him. But anyway, it comes with a cheap lapel mic, and I mean, I've got a couple of them actually on the go right here. My bag. I mean, I got one bad one. I got to sort it out to remember which one it is. But I mean, this is actually a decent setup. It's more of a flatter sounding setup. You don't get as much, say, surround sound compared to, I mean, if you listen to these videos, the ones that I do, normally, you get a little bit of surround sound. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. These don't get much at all. And they're good. Don't get me wrong. They are good for the price. I mean, you only pay, what, 10, 12 bucks for these? It's, I mean, and right out of the box, either they work or they don't. That's what I found out. Either they work or they don't. Normally, if they don't work, there's a simple fix and repair for it. But if my thought on it is try to get it through like an Amazon or something like that, that way you can get a hold of them and say, hey, these don't work, and they could deal with getting it returned for you and get you a new set. But there is a simple fix for them, and actually, it's the same fix if you are using these and you start getting kind of a fuzzy sound in your audio, and you know it's not the batteries. I told him in the belt pack, I told BC in the belt pack that there's a little screw, and I was wrong. Don't know what I was thinking. What it is, it's in the receiver setup. There's this little hole. You'll see Pyle. You can't see it too well, but this is Pyle. But right not too far from the E, there's a little hole down below. And that's actually you can actually fit a position straight screwdriver down in there, and you just tweak that just a teeny bit one way or the other. Try it out. It's trial and error. Try it out, and it should clear it up one way or the other. It's tuning it. Is what it is. It gets out of tune a little bit. This does have the adjustment wheel for the setting on it. To be honest with you, I have, this is way off from where my setting is. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all. I mean, yeah, there's ups and downs about it, but the one I use does not have an adjustment wheel on it. It's set for it's set for the receiver and the transmitter set together, and you just don't worry about it. You just plug it in and don't worry about it. Now, I do control my loudness through my soundboard, my audio board that I have it put into. And yeah, these are mono. They're one channel. And through my audio board, I get it pumped into my camera in both channels. So, I mean, that's the advantage of me getting an audio board. You can get these audio boards. You can get cheap one for around 20 bucks, give or take 5 bucks, you know? Get yourself a little cheapo. Mine's not quite a cheapo. Back in the day, it wasn't really a total cheapo. But it's a Radio Shack. And It wasn't new whenever I got it, and I really don't think unless you can find new old stock somewhere, because I mean Radio Shack really doesn't exist anymore. So it's like, but mine works. Mine works pretty good. But these things here, they work really well. I really didn't have too much of a complaint with them. Whenever this started giving me trouble, and I found out it was just needed adjusted. Afterwards, I went ahead and started looking for other alternatives, and that's where one of the ones, the one I'm using now and I like to use, is one of the ones that I liked how it sounded, and I liked how easy it is. And the one I have, actually has a wire. Oh, excuse me, something in my throat. It's got its own individual setup from the separate from. It doesn't plug directly in like this would, and you would need an adapter to plug this directly into your camera. Mine, this that I'm using, and actually it's a separate box. It uses a wire you plug into the camera. It comes stock with the large, I think it's a 1/8 plug, but you can buy the replacement cords that has the 3.5 millimeter jack on both sides, and it plugs right in, no problem. That's what I use. Whenever I plug it directly into my camera, but right now when it plugs into my board, it's using the original plug came with it, cord came with it. But another reason I didn't care for these, unless you get yourself a cord, and you got to really watch because these are kind of finicky sometimes. With the adapter in, you got a lot. I'll give you an example. I have an adapter right here. Mine looks a little bit different. I like the gold. I like my bling, gold plate. But anyway, you see how long that is, and you figure you plug that into the camera, you got all that weight hanging off of there, and that's going to wear and tear on your jack. Now you can get the ones with the cords, and it'll bend around. You can kind of like attach it to the camera to the back. Those work, but the thing is, if you got anything like the Hero 3 and up, you still got to have the USB, the dongle for the camera, and you get too much things plugged in. I mean, I found out, I think it was between the dongle, this quit working with that. So I mean, you gotta play with it. It's finicky. What else was I going to say about this? Oh, another one. You can get, this is a knockoff, but where is that? Okay, this is my Pyle transmitter, but this is the KONGIN transmitter. You look at the same thing. It looks like the exact same thing. Has all the same controls, everything. The difference is, and you're not going to be able to see it too much, but this Pyle has a red on it, light. This one has a green on it. And from understand, the Pyle, you can get Pyles in sets that'll work with each other, and one has a green light and the other one has a red light. I think this KONGIN model brand, I think it's just basically a knockoff, we'll call it, or I think they're all made the same manufacturer and just branded for under different names. This is, if you're interested in something looking into this, this is a KM-208. It's almost exactly the same. Now, saying that, yeah, the red and the green, they're supposed to work together. These will work together, but I get a little bit of interference, so I choose not to ever use them together. As far as another my last microphone, which I don't have on me, I do have the transmitter here somewhere. Might be actually in my other bag. I think it is. But anyway, I have one other. My stage mic I've got, and it doesn't have the best sounding, but for a handheld device, to give to hand to somebody if you're talking to them, say an interview or something, it will work. It'll work pretty nice. And these are all, I mean, I think I paid around $20 for the one I'm using, but now I've noticed it's like 10, 11 bucks. If anybody's interested, I'll give information on that. But I mean, it's these wireless, cheap wireless mics. They do a fairly good job. Are they professional? No, no, but they do a decent job. I mean, whenever you're talking YouTube videos like us that are just not, say, not the superstars, you don't really need the expensive stuff. Yeah, you're striving to get the best video you can, but I mean, come on, we're still just the individual people here doing this. But let's move off of that real quick. I just wanted to put a note on that, large note on that. This last week, I've got my new headlights, bulbs for the headlights of the Goat. The ones I put in were about 3 years old. They're starting to yellow out pretty good because it was only the low beam anyway. The high beam was just a junker LED, low wattage LED that I put in there, just to make it pass inspection. Now I got the super bright whites in there. I went with it's still 55 watts stock for the KLR 650, 2009. But, and maybe Tom State can actually probably back up with this. For as long as I've owned the Goat, the well nuts that holds the whole front fairing on, the large well nuts, the upper ones have been a pain in the rear. They've been taped in, they've been glued in. I glued them in, but they just never stayed in. In fact, I finally got around and I lost one in here somewhere. It's like, oh, whatever. And whenever I went to put the front fairing back on, I went out looking around the area for new well nuts. And I tell you what, I said I'll go up and say, oh, I need a well nut in every place except for one. Would look at me like I was talking gibberish. And it was like, oh, come on. And then they're like, are you making this name up? They're, no, it's a well nut. But I mean, Honda couldn't help me out. I don't have a Kawasaki dealer in my area. I went to the auto parts stores like Advanced Auto. They didn't have anything that would work with it. I went to Power Sports, and they wanted to send me to Wade Butler, south of me, and to a Kawasaki dealership down there, which they never have anything on stock for KLR. So I'm like, you're joking me. Get out of here. But what I ended up doing was going to an auto parts store, and actually Jim Houston, he'll actually kind of get a kick out of this a little bit. Down in West Middlesex, I think it was either Tom's or Tony's. I really can't remember the two. It starts with the T. It was either Tom's or Tony's. I mean, we actually had one or the other. One was down in West Middlesex, and the other one was actually on the hill in Sharon. It was like Tom's and Tony's, you know. But I can't remember, and they're both gone now. And it was like, I can't remember which one that was, but now it's a Napa store. It's right on 18 as you're going out of West Middlesex on the left-hand side as you're heading out of West Middlesex. And I used to go there all the time. Whenever I needed something I could not find anywhere else, really close to where I was at, I'd go there. And they always had it. They always had it. Whatever I needed. And if they didn't have exactly what I needed, they had something that really would just do and work for you, no problem. Well, they came through for me. The well nuts, I took the well nut and I put on there and said, you have one of these? He said, oh yeah, we have one of those. And I thought to myself, I should have known, because I went there to get well nuts whenever I was a mechanic for the Falcon and Compass. And I used to help put the mirrors on the hoods and everything else when they first came in to be outfitted. And I started getting the well nuts down there whenever we ran out of stock just to get us through. And I should have known, because they're for fiberglass and plastics. But yes, I said I got it through Napa. Like I said, this is the well nut, but this isn't the exact well nut that goes to the KLR 650. The KLR 650 has it's a 6 millimeter. That's the diameter of the cap screw that goes inside, and down here just does not handle metric. Sorry, with this. And so I went ahead, and these actually handle the quarter 20. So I mean, so I end up changing the hardware for the bolts, and I got some new washers for it also, and got it to work. I mean, eventually I got the top 2 replaced, got 4 altogether, 2 in the bottom edge. Those weren't in bad shape, so I went ahead and just used them. Whenever I'm going to be hopefully replacing the right-hand front blue section of the fairing, and I'll go ahead and put the new wheel nut in that whenever I pop it out, and I'll replace the other side too. That way it's all standard for all the fasteners. But yeah, I mean, if you're stuck like this, if you have a KLR 650, 2009 KLR 650, and you have a Napa anywhere near you, the part number is 665-2079. 665-2079. And you get 3 in a pack. I mean, I don't know why they just give you 3, but I mean, 4 would make more sense, or just having 2 would make more sense. But having, I guess, just in case you lose one, I don't know. But you get 3 in a pack, and I think I paid between $5 and $6 for those. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive compared to you can buy them online, and you pay like $20, $20 to $25 sometimes, and you get like 10 of them or 15 of them. And if you figure dollar for dollar, you're spending more that way. But if you don't need them, why would you have rubber well nuts laying around your personal garage that'll never get used? And that's gonna spend a few extra pennies. It makes sense to me. Now, if I knew I was going to be replacing those all the time, I'll go ahead and get the larger amounts. And also, I didn't have to order. I wanted something local because I wanted the bike back together. I want it now, not next week or a week after. So I went ahead and did that. Got it all together. Actually, the bright white, super bright white headlight bulbs. They're white and they almost look like LEDs when you turn them on. If you're not looking at them, they're white as my LEDs. So I was like, oh, I like that. I really like that. And I haven't had it out at nighttime yet, so I don't know what the riding's going to be like with them, but we'll see. We'll see soon enough. The warm weather, the warm weather's starting to move in. We'll probably get a couple more snaps of cold weather, but it's coming. It's coming. Just be patient, everybody. From what I understand, there will be a small meetup just in Ohio. It was on Dante Fox's. We talked about it on Dante Fox's hangout last night, and it's like a half hour away from me. I'm planning on showing up on that. That was like August the 5th, I'm pretty sure it was said. And yes, I said I'm planning on being there. But yeah, what time is it getting to be? Oh, I've jabbered on and on enough for you. It has gone a way over. This is MuzzleMike, hoping you all have a great week. Signing out.